I'm personally of the school of thought that grappling is grappling. I mean, grappling's been around for thousands of years. There's only so many things one human body can do to another. There's bound to be a ton of crossover. But obviously different rule sets are going to influence different styles and games. In your opinion, how far apart are the Sambo style, the Sambo approach to leg locks and the Jiu-Jitsu approach?
Well, the difference, honestly, in the submission games between most other grappling arts and jiu-jitsu is the time allowed on the mat in jiu-jitsu. Because I remember learning guard passing from some judo guys, and it was much quicker, much dirtier, much less technical. But the person is not going to have as much of a setup guard, and you're moving much faster. So it's the same thing with submission attempts, right? So with Sambo, first of all, everybody thinks of Sambo, they think of heel hooks. Heel hooks are not legal in Sambo.
Right.
It's, calf slicers, knee bars, and straight ankles, but reaping also does not exist. And to me, reaping is the dumbest fucking rule in jiu-jitsu. Hands down, bottom line, whatever. But what Sambo does really well is attack leg locks from top entry, and rolling leg locks, think of a flying arm bar, but a knee bar type of stuff, or a rolling calf slicer or that type of stuff. Those boys know how to get after those types of submissions very, very well. Because there's no guard pull, but if I pull you into an arm bar, that is legit. But with the way pinning works in Sambo, if I'm in your guard and I'm hugging you chest to chest, I'm pinning you. So you're giving up points. So that is where I think a lot of people miss why certain things are the way they are. I'm a fan of everything. I'm with you. I think, actually, personal opinion, I love the stint of American Jiu-Jitsu. I've got, a nice shirt from Ranger Up that says American Jiu-Jitsu. Triumph, one of the gyms I teach at, actually had a 3-day camp with the Daisy Fresh boys that was amazing. I thought I died halfway through it, but that's another story. But honestly, my opinion, grappling and jiu-jitsu are the same word.
Yeah.
I have this speech I give all the time, and I repeated it in class the other night, and I said, I teach everything through the lens of, for lack of better terms, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Why? Because in my mind, as far as an open rule set goes, it's one of the more comprehensive. There aren't, for the most part, there aren't, forbidden submissions. Like Sambo, you can't choke. Judo, you can't touch the feet, stuff like that, right? So it's not this big, I have to worry about this. You can just kind of go with whatever. But what I'm teaching is wrestling, Sambo, judo, jiu-jitsu, it's all of it. And it's almost kind of the, not to sound too corny, but the Jeet Kune Do concept of take what is necessary, take what is useful and discard the rest. There's a lot of things that may be really good in your game that don't work for me, and vice versa. And that's what makes all of this so cool. Like it bugs me to no end where people tend to think that I have to do this style or I have to emulate this person or I can't go to a different rule set because magically you're going to have some black mark on your record or it's going to prevent you from this. If you're a jiu-jitsu guy and you go to a judo tournament or a Sambo tournament and you lose every match, the only thing you really have to worry about is your own ego at that point. And frankly, if you're that fragile, just go, I'm not a Sambo guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you actually go to things like that and you take the lesson that can be learned of wow, that's just a different perspective. Or wow, I guess I thought I was really good here and I'm not. You're going to get so much better. I have competed. The only rule set I don't think I've competed in is catch wrestling because there's no catch around. It's just dudes in their mom's basement. Unfortunately, Josh LeDuc is doing a good job with bringing it back, but there's never any catch events around. But I mean, back in 2014, ADCC was doing some local tournaments. I've done ADCC. I have silver medals that say ADCC on them. I mean, they're not ADCC, but they're ADCC. I've done IBJJF. I've done gi. I've done no gi. I've done sub only. I've done Sambo. I've done freestyle Sambo. I've done IJF Judo. I've done fight to win Judo, freestyle Judo. And honestly, I don't change. Maybe I'm wrong for this, but I don't change my training that much event to event. I might work certain things a little bit more, a little bit less based off of what I'm walking into. But I'm confident enough where, like, if I go to, if I have a gi super fight and all that guy does is gi, I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage. Like, he might be really good at something that's kind of like my kryptonite or whatever the case may be. But most guys who all they do is gi, I'm going to throw something at them that they maybe have never seen before that might give me an advantage.